Hi everyone, my name is Marjorie. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you stopping by today and sharing some time with me. So today's video is What Month Is It? Challenge. It's a monthly challenge hosted by Tami with her co-hosts Cee J and Brenda, and a special guest host is Brandi. Please check out the description box for the playlist below and all of the other wonderful creations. So today I'm going to start with those three ribbons. The two and a half came from Craft Outlet and the other came from Hobby Lobby. This wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. I've got these cable mounts from Deco Exchange and some zip ties, some Chanel stems from Hobby Lobby. This beautiful sign came from Craft Outlet. This window pane or deco mesh and this blue deco mesh both came from Craft Outlet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my sign, and I'm just cutting the jute string off. We don't need that. I don't save those pieces for other projects. If I saved every little thing I had, oh my goodness, my craft room would be way worse than what it is. So I start by taking these cable mounts. Again, I purchased them from Deco Exchange, and I add a little bit of this Gorilla Glue super glue. Doesn't have to be Gorilla Glue, but I absolutely love their products. So this is what I got, and I actually do it to both of the little cable ties, and this is gonna help for in the summertime when it gets really hot, that the adhesive won't melt and kind of not be sticky anymore. That super glue is going to help it out. So then I take two Chanel stems and feed it through the cable tie and the cable mount, and I just do the same on both ends. Now this is what's going to help me attach my attach my sign to my wreath. Once I've got that in, I just take some Gorilla Hot Glue and I put a good amount to cover the entire bottom portion of the cable mount on both of them. And this is just a little bit added extra protection. If you choose not to do it, you don't have to do that. But this is just something that I've picked up off of the Deco Exchange channel, and it's a really good tip, at least in my opinion. So then I will take this wreath frame. It's a 14-inch frame from the Dollar Tree, and right here in each hand, that crossbar is part of a section, and then you've got the two inner rings that I will apply one Chanel stem in each of those sections. So you'll have 6 total on the inside. On the outer 2 rings, I will add 2 Chanel stems. So 6 sections on the outer will give you 12. And then the 12 outer Chanel stems along with the 6 inner stems is going to give you a total of 18. 3 Chanel stems in each section. So once I have that all done, I like to take my inner sections and move that to the middle because I like to start on the outside. And here I'm just trying to show you how beautiful this window pane weaved mesh is. It is so easy to work with. It's very pliable and it does not fray. And all I do is make sure the ends are kind of tucked in a little bit, then I walk my hands up in the middle. All I'm doing here is making sure that all of the deco mesh is actually pulled up enough that when I zip tie it here to this crossbar, that all of it will be in the zip tie. Now, if you don't do that, then you have the chance of some of your deco mesh pulling out or not pulling out, because it really wasn't in the Chanel stem. I mean, it wasn't in the zip tie to begin with, but it'll pull out and it won't have a good grasp. Now at this point, you could tuck it on, the little extra end, tuck it under or cut it off. I normally cut it off, but you know, I just chose to tuck it under because it really wasn't that much. So then I measure out 10 inches from that zip tie and measure out 10 inches, and I put it in the very first Chanel stem on the bottom. Like I said, I like to start on the bottom. You don't have to. You can start on the top and go to the bottom. It all turns out the same. Then from each Chanel stem, I measure out another 10 inches and attach it to the next Chanel stem. And I do that until the wreath is completely full. Now sometimes I like to go ahead and fluff out my poofs as I go because I just love how it looks. So here I'm showing you, I've already filled it up, and what I'm going to do here is just like I did the starting point of the deco mesh with the zip tie, that's the exact same way I'm going to finish it off. I'm just going to put it into the zip tie, and what I like to do is actually check that very last Chanel stem that I put it in. I try to make sure that's in the middle of that section, and then I zip tie the deco mesh, and then I trim off the excess. Now this you can actually save and use for another wreath and pair it up with another partially used roll, and it works perfectly. But look how gorgeous that is. I just love it. It's so beautiful. I love pink. And so here I'm taking this 10-inch deco mesh that I got from Craft Outlet as well. It says it's a metallic mesh because the strands of what looks like little metal metallic stuff in the middle that just goes horizontally through it all, and that's why it's called the metallic mesh. So what I do here is I'm cutting 20 inches long for all of them. 20 inches will be the perfect length to use up the entire roll of the 10-inch mesh. So here I'm just showing you how to do a quick cruffle, and then I just place it right on top and make sure that I put it right in the middle and tie it in. So here we go again. I just roll in the edges a couple times, walk my fingers into the middle, and then I'm just making sure that everything is even on both sides, and I attach it into the Chanel stems. And here I've already put the, oh my goodness, the tails in. I cut them at 14 inches, and I'm sorry, I don't know, I thought I was filming and I wasn't, but you'll see later. And here I am just going to take my ribbon, the rest of the ribbon that was on the spool, and make a bow. Now I like to just do the 14-inch tails going down, which is towards me, and then I typically just do like 6-inch loops and then a short 8-inch tail going towards the top. Now this is how I measure out my bow, where I know the the shorter tails are going to be at the top of the bow and the long tails are going to be at the bottom of the bow. Now I personally just pretty much do all of my loops at 6 inches, but what you could do is you could do 6 inches and then you could gradually go smaller. I know a lot of craft wreath makers actually do that, but either way works. So it is really just preference for you at this point. just like however many loops that you want to do. Here you see me doing 2 loops with each one. You could definitely go and do multiple. So like here, I've got towards the end of the ribbon on the spool, so I'm gonna just go ahead and utilize the majority of what I can. So I went ahead and did 4 loops on here, and the reason is I didn't want to waste this beautiful ribbon. And so I pretty much do the same with this yellow ribbon. And is this not the cutest ribbon? I've never been a fan too much of yellow, but there was just the colors of this just really struck me. And I already knew I had these polka dot ribbon, and so I just thought it was gonna be a perfect match. And I absolutely love it. So, and then I just take my 1.5 inch ribbon that I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I just make big loops, and then what I end up doing is making a smaller loop just for the middle. And that makes it turn out really nice and gives you something in the middle of the ribbon to make it look complete, make it look like there's not really a hole or something there. And looking a little rough now, but as you see the empty space I left for the bow, and I just attach it. It can be a little bit of a task because you gotta weed through the deco mesh and get your Chanel stems in there just right, and you gotta make sure it's on there tight enough to where your bow is sitting up pretty and your bow is not actually sunk into your deco mesh. And then to me, this is the most satisfying portion of a wreath, is fluffing out all the bows and the tails and getting them in the right direction, looking real nice and pretty, and then going back and dovetailing the ends of the ribbons and just making them all nice and fluffy. So typically what I do is I'll either do on my wreaths, I either do 1 bow like this, or I do 3 bows with shorter tails, and probably like 7 or 8 inch tails, and then I'll just do 3 of those. Now all my wreaths are pretty standard. I don't like on the deco mesh wreaths, I really don't add a lot of flowers and stuff like you see some others do, and but you can definitely go ahead and spruce up your wreath any way that you like. I tend to not really do a whole bunch of flowers or greenery and stuff like that. I do have some faux flowers at home, but as far as on my wreaths, I like to just stick to the deco mesh and the ribbons, or do a different grapevine wreath. But this sign, everything just kind of came together. It was just a perfect match, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I think the yellow was a really great pop of color, and I actually have this on my front door. So for my second wreath, going with this, I got that sign from the 99-cent store, and then I'm using pretty much the same same products, except I actually have 2 10-inch deco mesh, and that's in the window pane too. I did get those from Craft Outlet. So here I'm just setting up the sign just like I did in the last time. And but the deco mesh was on sale, and so I saw it and I just absolutely loved it, and I bought 4 rolls of it. So I really like how it shows, and once I open it up, I'll show you just how beautiful it is. But this is going to be a different method, even though it is deco mesh. I do not do the poof base like I did on the other one with the 21-inch deco mesh. And here I'm actually going to do the crumple method like I did with the blue 10-inch deco mesh on the other one. But look how beautiful that is. It's just gorgeous. I love it. But what I do is I actually cut them in 40-inch lengths. So when I do that, I actually roll it up about 3 times on each side, and then I do the crumple. Now, in case you're wondering how I got the 40-inch length, it's because it's 30 yards. It's like 360 inches of deco mesh on one roll. So since I have 2 rolls, I took the 1 roll and decided I'm going to use 1 roll for half of the wreath. And so that'll be 9 of the chenille stems. So I just took the 360 and divided it by 9 to give me my 40-inch length. And that's all you have to. And I like to do that because I like to pretty much use all of the rolls on the 10-inch rolls. I don't know. I just like to do that better. I don't really like a lot of deco mesh that is just sitting around with small amounts on them. But you don't definitely see, this is 1/2 of the wreath, and that is so full, and it is gorgeous. I love it. So I actually have the Dollar Tree ribbon, which is this burlap one. The blue ribbon I did get on sale from the Craft Outlet, and Craft Outlet is my -- place to shop for deco mesh and ribbon. They always have a sale going on. Their inventory is constantly rotating in the sale. You can get anywhere between 10 and 40% off on the sales. I typically find a lot of my stuff on sale, so it's definitely worth a shot for you guys. Even if you just like to buy your ribbon. I mean, I've always gotten good quality of ribbon from there, so to me it's absolutely the best. So I was showing you there how I put in the 14-inch ribbon. I mean, I cut the tails into 14 inches, and I just added them into the wreath. Now, I did have this other Easter roll of ribbon, that one with the blue chevron sitting there at the top, and I got that from the 99-cent store a couple years ago, and it was actually pretty good. So it all tied together real nice and pretty. For me, one of the Dollar Tree or 99-cent rolls, the 3 yards, is really good for a bow. So if you like to make wreaths, then, or even just bows, I mean, you can definitely do all kinds of things with just a 3-yard roll of ribbon. And here is this cute little Easter bunny. I really like this one too. I think that deco mesh went really well. So for my third and final wreath, this is going to be like a little grapevine wreath. I've got all these beautiful tulips from the thrift store for $1.99. Absolutely love it. So I've got some ribbon from Hobby Lobby and the Dollar Tree. This little wicker wreath from the Dollar Tree. I actually love these. I love making wreaths with these more than I do with their other dark brown grapevine wreaths. So, but I can never really find them as much. But I start with this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, which I don't really like it too much. I love the pattern. I think it's got beautiful colors. But the only reason I don't like it is because it's so thin and it doesn't hold up as well. And but I decided to use it on this wreath because I was gonna be putting some of the greenery in between, so it'd kind of help some of it sit up just a bit. But honestly, I probably wouldn't buy it anymore. To me, a really good ribbon is a stiff ribbon. That's what makes the best bows to me. So I just making my little bows here, and I'm just making one little bow, and again with my 6-inch loops and my 8-inch tails. And I do try to use up all of the ribbon on the bow, all of the ribbon on a spool, so that's why you see me using all of these. Now both of them just had 3 yards on the spool, so it made a pretty nice bow. So I just put the chenille stem around it, and I make sure it's even on both sides before I kind of twist my bow around, and that just ensures that it's really tight. So then I feed the chenille stem ends into the grapevine. I don't go just around. If I feed it in between some of the branches, then it actually has a better hold, and it'll keep from moving up and down. So I finished fluffing out my loops and my tails and dovetailing them. So now I'm just going to start with my greenery, which I like starting with my greenery, but you don't have to. You can definitely kind of do it however you want to. But I like to start with my greenery and then add some florals. And then I go back and look through everything to see if there's little spots that I feel are empty and need to be filled again. And yeah, I actually don't use the hot glue on these unless I'm gonna sell it, but I'm not selling this one. I actually have this hanging above my craft table because I think it's just so cute, and I love these types of wreaths. So these tulips, I mean, I got a really good deal. I actually only used half of them on this wreath, so I have the other half to where I can actually make another one of these wreaths and give it to a friend or whatever. But with the amount that I had on there, I mean, I made a pretty nice full wreath. So, you know, I haven't been able to go to the thrift stores very often. I honestly can't tell you the last time I went to one. But I do try to see if they do have florals, because you can sometimes find some nice florals or even the greenery to be able to use. So, but typically what I do to one side, I do to the other, and I just fill it up. There's more things you can put, like little are they called pip beads? Just like the little beads and stuff, and little curly cues, and all kinds of things you can add to grapevine wreaths. You can also add little 6-inch little sections of deco mesh if you want. There's just so many things that you can do with an actual grapevine wreath rather than just, you know, just leaving it plain or whatever. Or not plain, but, you know, if you kind of want to do something else and spruce it up a little bit. So once I go ahead and have everything the way I like it, then what I will end up doing is taking some more of that greenery, which is actually the eucalyptus that I got from Walmart, and I'll just kind of cut little pieces of those off, and I actually do hot glue those into the ribbon because there's nothing for it to hang on to. But typically after I take a wreath apart, I normally don't use the bows again. I normally just kind of get rid of them. So it wasn't a big deal to me to have to use some hot glue on there. And you kind of just rearrange it how you think it looks nice to you. So what may look nice to me may not look nice to you, you know, but just, you know, do it how you feel it makes, create how you feel it, you know, it looks good and stuff. So I did want to say thank you to those that have stopped by, and I hope that if you're a new viewer that you will consider subscribing to my channel and liking my video and even leaving a comment. And to all my subscribers, I'm so grateful for you all. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. And I'm very blessed to have the YouTube family that I do have. So thank you guys so much for all that you do. And I'll leave you here with this video. Thank you again. And you guys have a blessed day.